While many of you are resting this Memorial Day, family members of the fallen continue to mourn. This Memorial Day, one group of El Pasoans made it their mission to remember the true meaning. And they did just that by laying flowers at their graves. ABC 7's Rosemary Montanez has more from Fort Bliss National Cemetery.
Families of the men and women who served our country today, remembering and honoring their loved ones here at their graves, placing flowers here for those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
To me, it shows the honor that I owe them for what their sacrifices were.
Volunteers carried buckets full of roses as they approach the grave sites, each person taking a few seconds to honor before delicately placing the roses.
A lot of people think if it weren't for Memorial Day, we would not have any of the other holidays. The 4th of July wouldn't exist without our armed forces and the people that volunteered giving those sacrifices.
Volunteers with the mission continues know this is a small gesture for their large sacrifice. This man, Gabriel Jimenez, says many of his friends rest at this cemetery. He says volunteering on days like today help fill the emptiness in his life.
When I told others that I was going to do that, the very first thing they did was contact me and say, place one on my son's marker as well. Thank you. And it was an immediate impact.
This other man says his mother and best friend are buried here. He is also a Vietnam War veteran. He knows the suffering the men and women of our nation endured.
People forget very quickly after a war or after a big death how much of a sacrifice it is, not just to the veterans themselves, but to the families of the veterans.
On this Memorial Day, we honor and remember all those who made the ultimate sacrifice. And coming up on ABC 7 at 6, we take a look at one family here in El Paso who is remembering their father. From Fort Bliss National Cemetery, Rosemary Montanez, ABC 7.
And the funds to purchase the roses were donated by El Pasoans.